There's one question that everyone is confronted with, and the people who don't have an answer to that question, they're the ones who give up on their dreams, who don't make any progress on their ideas, and who quit and can't stick to anything. But the people who have an answer to this question, they're the ones we call crazy talented, super successful, and rich. Now, if you want to be the latter, we've got to dial in on your answer to this question. But first, what even is this question? I remember back in middle school, there's this game I would play called Block. And basically, it was an online chat room where you could build rooms. And I became a really good builder. I mean, I built some great stuff. Only problem was it would take hours. Sometimes it would take all day of me sitting at this laptop and building out the room. The thing that made it really hard was that sometimes the site would crash. And if you didn't save your room before it crashed, everything you made would disappear. And that's what happened to me. So many times I would spend literally all day building something. And the second I finished, the site would crash and I had to start over. I had to start over, like straight from scratch. But I would. Of course, I'd be upset. Like, I would have a tantrum, but I would get started again. And the question is, why would I? It's because I wasn't building a room just for myself. I was building a room for my friends to come in so that we can enjoy it. And so that's what allowed me to continue building, even though it would have been so much easier for me to quit and give up and just say, forget it to the room, because I had a why. You want to have an answer to that question, why? Because it's so important that it can even save your life. I remember reading this story about these soldiers who were on this boat and or some ship, and it tanked, and they were out stranded in this cold water in the middle of the ocean waiting for help. Days passed before they got help. And there are some people who died, but the few who survived, they asked them, how did you survive? You wanna know what they said? They all had reasons why. They had reasons for why they wanted to continue living. They had reasons that people outside them needed them, so they had to make it through. And the people who didn't have anybody who were counting on them, they didn't think about the people they would meet who were counting on them. They had their why. And so they were holding on for dear life. They're fighting against hypothermia. The only reason they kept going and survived because they knew why. When they wanted to give up, they said, no, but I know why I'm still here and I'm not going to quit. So if you want to have the perseverance and the commitment you're going to need to achieve your goals and become the super successful person you want to be, the high achiever, whatever it is, it's time to get clear on why you want it in the first place. And to do that, first, think about something you want to stay locked in on, but you just have not done it yet. What is that? For me, I would say freestyle rapping, because that's something I do it, but I want to be more structured about how I practice. I want to have a deliberate practice instead of just like rapping and then wowing people, but I'm not really growing. You feel me? So figure out what the thing is, and next thing is, think about all of the reasons why you want to do this until you found out one reason. Maybe that's those 2 or 3 reasons that light a fire in your heart, in your spirit, in your body. And when you found out why, you're good. Nothing will stop you from here on out. Whenever things get difficult, you will not quit. When things are boring, you will persevere. When you're doubting yourself, you will still keep going. Why? Because you know your why. You know why you're doing it. So pause this video. Seriously, pause the video and go through the steps I just went through with you. Think about what you want, what really matters to you, and ask yourself, why do you want it? Why do you want it? Why does it matter to you? Figure out that burning reason. And if you only wrote down one why, I'm promising you, your level of grit is rising. And the more you write down your whys, the more your grit will increase, which is important because your grit the level of your greediness, which is basically your ability to handle whatever comes your way, is quite literally the foundation for success. Because I promise you, things are gonna go completely wrong. But if you know your why, you'll be able to stay with it. And that's why I keep posting videos on YouTube. I mean, it's been like 3 years, and I've had different channels, and sometimes I would stop and go over to TikTok, but ultimately I've always continued to create content. And why? Because I'm choosing to make the difficult choices and the sacrifices today so that I never have to make them again in the future. I'm doing this because I want financial freedom. I'm doing this because I truly believe what I'm talking about and I want to help people. I'm doing this because I want to be able to take my mom on a cruise and pay for everything and not have to worry about anything. I'm doing this because I want to have a mastery in my life. I have a list of whys, but I don't even have to look at them anymore because I've looked at them so often. I made sure to keep the spirit alive in those whys by continuously going back to them, reading them, feeling them in my heart, understanding how powerful they are to me, how much they matter to me. So when you ask me why, if you caught me on a bad day, I'm still recording videos. I'm still writing. Why? Because I know this is going to change my life, and I want so many more things that comes down to doing the work that matters. And now the philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, I think I said his name right, he said, he who has a why can bear almost any how. So if you have a why, you can get through anything, no matter what difficult thing comes your way, you can take it head on because you know why you're doing it. Now, I don't know how you wrote down your why, your list of whys. If you wrote down on your notes app, you can add a widget on your screen, and I'll show you how to add a widget up there. Make it easier for you. But you can add that widget and have it on your home screen so you can always see your list of whys. Or if you wrote down on a piece of paper, you're gonna keep that paper on your pillow. So when you come back when you come back from home and you go into your room, you'll see your whys, and then you can go back over them. Because it really matters is that you take some time to look over the whys and get them ingrained in your heart. The moment those are ingrained in you, the next time you're going to do something and you want to quit, that why will come back up and your spirit will come alive, your heart will come on fire, and you'll be like, okay, I'm not quitting. I'm going to keep doing this. That's why it's really important that you take some time to look over those whys and really keep that spirit alive. And maybe you could just do it after you eat dinner. Like, you can add this process into things you already do. So we could say after dinner, when you just ate and you got that itis, just look real quick over your whys and visualize how important they are to you and how your life is going to change when you do the things that need to get done continuously every single day. Like, really commit to these whys and keep that spirit alive in them, because that's going to keep your spirit alive in whatever you're trying to do, and you actually get those things done, achieve whatever you want. Now, what if you can't find a single reason why you want to do what you want to do? Just reevaluate the goal and ask yourself, is this really important to you? Is it something that really matters to you? Be honest with yourself. Why lie to yourself? Because you're not hurting anybody else but you. If it's something that really doesn't align with your values, then just let it go. Be intentional. Let it go. And then ask yourself what really does align with your values. And then find whys for that. But if you're dead serious and you're like, no, I really want this. This aligns with my values. So why can't I find a why? You could also try to find more reasons why or things you're avoiding. Let's put it like that. So your reason why could be around things you don't want to happen in your life. And there's something I did with Walmart. When I worked at Walmart, I would look at people working the stocking jobs with gray hair, the older people, and I used them as my why to continue writing and building up that skill, because I did not want to be 70-year-old still working at Walmart, having to wear knee pads that don't hurt my already fragile knees because I don't have enough money to support myself on my own. Like, I don't want that. I don't want to work up until 70. I don't want to have gray hair working. That is one of my whys. So that made it a lot easier for me to keep showing up, because I focus on what I don't want. So if it's hard for you to find a why, then try to switch to what you want to escape. Or you can think about, how you succeeding and doing what you want to do will help other people. Because I've definitely had some whys for like I literally want to be able to live in the community where all my family and friends are nearby. Like it can be so many different whys. And that's the point I really want to drive into you. Your whys can be anything. And they don't have to be super long. They ain't gotta be fancy. They ain't gotta be moral. None of that stuff. They just gotta be a why that motivates you to stay in the game when the game gets hard. You can think about your personal life, your social life, your economy, anything. You can even say, look, the reason I'm doing this because I want to be someone people are jealous of. Okay, cool. I don't care if it's immoral. I don't care. All I care is that you have a why. Like you just have something that keeps you going when you want to quit. And if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, the smallest problem or inconvenience that pops up into your life will throw you off course, and I promise you, you will quit. You will not make progress. Your life will stay the same, and I don't want that for you. So figure out your whys and put at least one in the comment just so you can make it real. If you found this video helpful, these ideas valuable, and you want more, hit that subscribe button. I make 5 videos every week, and I'll see you for the next one.